Afternoon. I wanted to create a short video using Claude to show you how I do things nowadays because it's a lot easier, I think, than people understand. I mean, it's reached that point. And I've tried Chat GPT and Grok and all that. Chat GPT, the problem with it was every time I'd ask them to do something, it'd have a complete new redesign. In other words, it wasn't built on what we did previously. It would totally change it every time, which that's bullshit, excuse my language. So I want to show you what I want to do today. And I'll show you how I do it. I build database applications. Here's a list of all my MySQL tables and all that. We're going to build something to compare how many jobs we had in 2024 versus how many we had in 2023. I wish we had the 2025 data out, but it's not here yet. So we go to this table here, 2024 OES. And we go over here, and I'm using a product called Navicat, which makes it real easy. And here's a list of all the table structures and everything. Everything's right there. So what we will do is we'll copy this, just highlight it, and then we'll go over here to Grok again, to Claude, and we're going to say now because this is going to be accessing my data server, I need to give it a means to do that. So what we'll do here is we'll go down here, and I'm not going to show it to you. But I have a DB include PDO, which you could have a DB include, either one will work. It has all my stuff in it. Claude is going to need that to connect to the tables. And now we're going to paste that table we just did there. We're going to paste that in. And we're going to paste one more in. That was 2024. So we want to find the 2023 OES stuff. It's right here. Basically the same table almost. And we're going to pull Claude back up. This would be easier if I could show you on multiple screens like I have it, but I can't because this program I'm using called vMix. And then we're just going to click the error for Claude to get started. Now it's now got my login to my database server, and it's got the table structures to both programs. I haven't given them hardly any other direction yet. And it's read all them tables, and now it's going to develop something without me giving them any instruction at all. And what I do is I take that preliminary work that it creates. That's the first iteration. After that, I go through and figure out what I want to see in there. And I could have gave it a custom query up front or something, said, hey, this is how I want to query, and this is the fields I want to compare, and all this stuff. And we'll eventually end up doing that. But right now, we want to give Claude the design. This thing is capable of doing all the design and everything for you. I told it at the beginning to use PHP and MySQL because MySQL is where my data is contained at. And PHP, I use it not because I'm an expert in it. Hell, I'm an old FoxPro guy. I use PHP because it's available on all the hosting companies for free. Yeah, you go out and use Microsoft and some of those stuff, SQL Server and everything. I grew up in that world. I prefer that world. But goddamn, they charge you an arm and a leg, which is crazy. With PHP and MySQL, I haven't seen anything I can't do. And I mean anything. It can do your, I can't even think of the name of it now. Uh, the latest React type stuff and all that. It can simulate it real close. We've done some fancy things with it. I'm currently using it to totally redo my guest worker visa site because I'm fixing to monetize parts of it. So I've got to create a login and all that. We're going to create a deal for serving out the API data, all this stuff. And I'm going to use this tool. It costs me $20 a month to use. Now see, it's already gone out and created something. Let's go back over here. Let's scroll down. Now I want to show you something else I use. See this OES comparison tool? You can download it. There's two ways to use it. I could go over here and highlight all this. Use this copy here to copy everything. And I could go into Visual Studio Code and paste it. And then I could do this and do that, just like you normally would. But I want to show you an easier way. So we've got this OES comparison tool. Now what I like to do is I go over here to my download folder and I erase everything in there. And the reason I do that, so it doesn't rename. In other words, if it had a file called file 1 in there, and you copied file 1 in there again, it'd call it file 1 rename 2 or something like that. I don't want to have to rename that shit all the time. So we got an empty folder now. Now we're going to download it. So now we got that OES comparison. Now I want to go out here. I should have started this up a while ago and I haven't done it yet. I'm going to start up FileZilla. I'm an old guy. I still use FileZilla. Some of you guys use newer stuff, I'm sure. But by doing all that, you don't really know everything that is that happens behind the scenes. When you do it this way, you know everything. If something breaks, you know what it is. Now I'm going to create a new folder in here. Create directory in it. We're going to call it OES, just for short, because I don't want to type a lot. Getting old. None of that. You'll see why here in just a second. So it's created this OES tool. Now we want to go back down here to this OES comparison. I'm going to copy this over to my GWV10 folder, which is right here. Now we're going to go back to FileZilla. Going to refresh this, and there's that OES comparison tool. And it's going to copy it out there. Now we also are going to need to include that DB include. Right here, DB include. Well, there's an easier way, damn it. Right here, DB include PDO. We want to copy that over there. So now we have both of them out there. We should be able to go out here to this table, this server. Go out here to a new tab, enter guest worker visas /OES / what was the file name? OES comparison.php. I haven't touched one line of code, and already we've got it up there showing what happened and all this. And we can do all this stuff. We can go in and find the different type of stuff, all the different jobs. As you'll see here, it's creating 2023 employees, 2024, and it shows you how many jobs they gained. It would have took days to rewrite this in the old days. I've got it running now. Got a little chart here showing who had the most job gains, which apparently was home health and personal care aides. Low paying jobs. That pay, do they say their salary? No, I don't guess they do. But this is the start. This is all I'm going to show you right now. That's how simple it is. Now I can make it do much fancier stuff. And we're going to take this and we're going to refine this and we're going to go back and forth to Claude and say, okay, Claude, I like this, but I don't like that. And we'll generate it. We'll get it going. We'll show you how you can use this yourself. Now, I don't really recommend if you're not a programmer that you try and do this stuff because, man, I got 40 years experience doing this stuff. Not with AI, not with Claude, but doing it myself by hand. So I've been a data expert for decades. But if you're a programmer and you're looking for a quick way to prototype stuff and get it out there, we did this in less than 10 minutes. You can't beat that, man. I don't like the dark background and all that. I prefer a lighter background. We'll change all that. We'll show you how in upcoming videos. I just want to show you what it's capable of. As I always say, if you like what I'm doing, the content I'm creating here, subscribe. Hit that notification bell and all that other stuff they talk about doing. Because I'm going to try and show you guys and gals ways that you can use the tools that these large corporations are developing to beat the pants off them son of bitches. We're going to have to develop this stuff ourselves. They're not going to hire us no more. For 23 years, I've held out hope that I would eventually get hired again and be able to put my skills back to work, get my finances going back together the way they used to be. And it's like other people have told me recently, that ain't going to happen. The bastards are not going to hire us. Not until we line them up against the wall and aim the firing squad at them. That's what it's going to take. Sad to say that, but that's what it's going to take. They're not going to change direction. If they can get rich at the expense of you, it's going to happen. And there's nothing we can do. I've tried doing it twice by running for senator. Because my thought was if I got in there, I could demand answers. Well, I can't get in there. I'm not saying I'm not going to try again. But as you can see, I'm getting old and decrepit and all that bullshit. So if you want a tool that's going to help you build your own little company, your own little stuff, this is the way to do it. It would have took me weeks or months to write all this. Claude did it in 10 minutes. You can't beat it. Thank you.